Oh, thank you. I love it too. I know you were one of the first to see it, but it's so much better than my last book trailer. I'm so glad to see myself growing in this author trade, but it's here. The paperback is available as of today. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh. Book 2. This is the second book I've published, and I am so proud. So proud. Of course, this is the author proof copy, and I've already found a few things, but they're to be expected. It's independent publishing, and I'm going to fix them and I'm going to put them in, but not to right now. Right now, I'm celebrating. Please bear with me. I have some plumbing going on, which is setting my dogs off. They're going a little bit crazy, just a tiny bit. But we are here to chat for an hour. So ask away any questions you have. Um, I will be here with you as much as I can. Uh, and if you want me to read a little, I will read a little, of course. So it has been a successful launch despite plumbers and their moat around my house with a drawbridge. My poor puppies, though they've been enjoying the walks they've been getting. They've been getting a walk at least twice a day. So they've been enjoying that because in the past I would just open the back door, let them run around. So now I'm actually taking them out on walks. So thank you, Brandy, for being here. Oh, I don't know how many people will show up, but we are here. We are here. So thank you so much for working on my other pin name. The branding for that is awesome. So if you are watching the playback, I am S.A. Crow, and I just finished publishing The Fire Inside. So ask questions. Maybe a bit about the book or yourself for the replay. Okay. So I'm S.A. Crow. I am an LGBTQ plus author here in North Texas. And I have been writing and reading all my life. And the first book, Into the Fire, was sort of a book of therapy. It helped me get through a very hard time, a very big transition for me and my family. This book, of course, while I was writing the first one, um, I knew it was going to be a series immediately. And I sat down with a huge pad of paper, which I still have a picture of, huge pad of paper, and I started plotting out 9 books. So this is book 2 that had always been plotted. Oh my gosh, it had been birthed over 5 years ago, 6 years ago now. And I wrote it the year after I drafted the first one. I drafted this one. It took me a little while. To get published. The first one got published last year. This one this year. So exciting news. I also co-own a writing group, On the Wings for Writers. We do writing sprints, all sorts of funness. I love my writing community. They are amazing. And thanks to them, I continue to make it. This book is about Tony. He's a bodyguard and an ex Navy SEAL. I love me some Navy SEALs. Everybody, don't they? Um, and about Anna. Anna is a lingerie designer. And they met because her father was his ex CO, his ex admiral. So when she was kidnapped in the beginning of the book, that's not giving anything away. It's the first chapter of the book. He calls Tony to come and rescue her. And of course, Tony calls his old buddies together and they go and get her. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the beginning. There's so much more in store for them. And of course, because it's a pretty big book, it is absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love this book. I love, I've gotten a 5-star review, and the person who wrote the review, I could not have said better about this book. Anna and Tony are a beautiful couple, and I love Tony. One of the big things that I tried to do with this book was I was trying to write an alpha male that wasn't toxic. He understands that the main character, the his main lead, the woman that he loves and he has loved for a very long time, um, is gone through horrible, horrible trauma. And you can't just, you know, grab this person. You can't just control them. Someone who cares for the love of their life is going to try to do everything in their power to take care of them. And that does not mean bullying them and helping them feel more out of control in this experience. Instead, he is very, very understanding, so understanding, and so beautiful. It really is beautiful. I love him. So, what's important to you to change the alpha male trope? I think too often, of course, most often the alpha males kind of lumped in with the BDSM lifestyle. Doms and alpha males are very similar in the romance industry, in romance books. They're very similar. One may not know all the rules and what they're doing, they're just being them. And then the other one actually knows, like a dom actually knows the rules. To me, the trope feeds too often into male toxicity. There's a lack of consent. Because even though it's sort of there, um, I sometimes read passages where I'm like, yeah, he wants her to say it, but I kind of feel like you're coercing her into saying she wants this. So, or you get the um, trapped in one place, and so they don't have any other options but to deal with this person. And often females in romance novels take a submissive role, and in a more unhealthy submissive role. So I really wanted to show an alpha male that cared about the person he was with, that he cared about her journey, her growth, her taking back her power over her sexuality, over her life, over her decisions. Um, he didn't treat her like a victim, but at the same time, he let her know that something was going to happen. Like, he didn't just reach out and grab her. He didn't just expect them to get sexual. It actually takes quite a while for their relationship to become sexual. Thank goodness. Because can you imagine going through the first trauma in the book and then immediately getting sexual with another person after this horrible event that you've gone through? And even though that horrible event is only 2 chapters, it's still a horrible event. Hello, cool gamer! Yay! It's good to see you. So we're talking about my new book today, and right now we're talking about why it's important to me to change the alpha male trope. I think because I've met alpha males that aren't toxic, and I would like to express them on the page. I would like to show, because I know there are a lot of men that actually also read romance, and I would like to show men and women that you can be an alpha male and not a toxic male. You don't have to give in to toxic masculinity. So, do you view writing as a kind of spiritual practice? That is an interesting question. Um, that one's got me thinking. Wow, Brandy. Wow, that one's awesome. Okay, a kind of spiritual practice. Yes, I could see it as a kind of spiritual practice. Um, I mean, in a way, we have our traditions and we have our superstitions about, our writing ability. Like, when I'm actually drafting, I like to have a candle on my desk. And it's part of the tradition and the ritual of getting ready for writing. And so, yeah, I guess I would see it as sort of a spiritual practice. And I do plan to write a book for writing magic, and that is a project I'm working on. So yeah, I do kind of see it as a spiritual practice in a kind of offbeat bohemian way, I guess. I guess we're as superstitious as sports people. I mean, I can see people having the same kind of fuzzy socks every time they sit down to write, or you have your favorite pen. Um, or if things aren't quite right, you're not in the mood. Does writing energize or exhaust you? Ooh, energize me usually. Usually because I stop. Okay, how do I explain this? When I'm drafting, writing, the actual act of drafting and writing does energize me because I usually try to write a 50,000 novel in a month. And that's just drafting. That's just words on the page. Um, I actually stop at the end of each chapter. I make notes for the next chapter because I'm still there. So I go ahead and make notes, but I stop. And so I stop with the expectation of what I'm going to write tomorrow and how I'm going to work that out. And so it causes me to kind of think about it throughout the day. And I'm like, ooh, and I could do this and I could tweak that. And I could, ooh, what if I did this? And what if I did that this way? Or what if I put in that subplot here? And ooh, that's an interesting way to put that in. And so it does energize me. What exhausts me is everything else. Everything else past the draft stage exhausts me because I have dyslexia. So my actual revision and editing process is longer than it is for most people. Because not only have I found that I will misspell a lot of words, I tend to add letters or take letters away from a word. That is part of my dyslexia. But I've also recently realized when I go to write a sentence and it sounds fine to me, but I will structure a sentence in an odd way, and I don't know why. And it's kind of almost in a backward way. So I think that's a part of my dyslexia. So that part of writing exhausts me, and I literally have to do things in chunks because too long, and I'm just yeah. And it uses a completely different part of my brain. I have to listen to a completely different kind of music. It's a completely different part of my personality. And yeah, I love drafting. It's the rest of it. It drives me crazy. But I do love developmental editing with my developmental editor. We just riff off of each other. She gets me. She knows what I'm trying to do. She's developmental edited all 3 books. Well, she's about to do the 3rd one soon after the beta reads. So, we really get each other and we know what we're trying to say, and she knows the world really well and she knows my characters. So, it's fun to just riff with her. What advice would you give to other writers or authors who also struggle with disabilities? I hope I worded that correctly. Of course. Um, Oh my gosh, learn your chrono rhythm. Learn when you have the most energy in the day. I do believe in the spoon theory that you only have so many spoons often with disabilities, like chronic pain, things like that. You only have X amount of energy a day. So I say learn your chrono rhythm. Learn when you have the most creativity in a day, the most energy in a day. Set a timer, write for that timer, work for that time amount. Slowly increase it until you get to a spot that you like. I mean, I would start with 5 minutes and slowly increase every week until you get to a spot that you like. Be okay with down days. Be okay with days where you have to say, I've got to take care of me, and that's more important than writing or my other jobs. And be okay with it. And often, what I try to do, because I feel guilt about laying down and taking a day if I have to take a day, is I'll go ahead and brainstorm while I'm in bed because I can record something while I'm down. So yeah, that's another way with people with disabilities can write is write in bed. Um, write, dictate. I've met some people who can really dictate and write very quickly. So yeah, and read your work in bed so you can scratch on a page while you're in bed if you need to. So yeah, just remember self care is the most important. What was an early experience where you learned that language had power? Oh my gosh, Brandy, you are so great at these questions and you're doing fine, by the way. Thank you for asking questions. I am so enjoying them. Okay, so my early experience where I learned that language had power, I was very young. The one thing about my childhood that I will never trade ever is the fact that no one in my family, no one who helped raise me ever censored what I could read. Ever. I was given a budget at the bookstore or the thrift store because there were books at the thrift store, and as long as I was within my budget, I could grab whatever I wanted. And there was never a question of, "Do you think you can read that or do you think that you're old enough for that?" My parents were very much of everyone who raised me was very much of the case of, "Okay, if that's what you want to spend your money on, good luck." And so I was never told I couldn't read something. And my favorite book growing up was Interview with a Vampire. And everyone in my family read. So I thought it was a thing you did. And I loved that there was a way to put emotion. You could use words to describe emotion or a scene or a you know what it looked like outside in the winter, and I was reading it during the summer. I loved that, and, I had that from a very early age, and I absolutely loved it. Um, yeah, I think I found Interview with a Vampire when I was in elementary school, definitely before 5th grade, definitely before 5th grade, and, yeah, I loved that it could take me back in history, and I could live this life that was so interesting, so, yeah. What's your favorite underappreciated novel? Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I have so many. You asked the wrong question. I know, AJ. I have a puppy right here, as you can see. Hi. Look, you're on TV. You're on TV, baby. My favorite underappreciated novel is the Kushal series by Jacqueline Carey. Kushal's Dart is the first one. And I think it would be almost as fantastic as Game of Thrones was for HBO. I think it should be a show. Uh, yeah, that's the AJ. Brittany said hi to the AJ. Yes, she did. Yeah, Brittany said hi to the AJ. Look. This is my Whippet Black Lab mix. She loves me. Um, I think it has everything you could possibly want in a novel. It's a alternative history novel, and it has intrigue, spies, war, BDSM, bisexual characters, sacred prostitution, a secret, the greatest female villain ever, absolutely ever. Milsad is the greatest female villain ever written. I absolutely love it. Have you ever gotten reader's block? Yes. I am notorious for if I'm reading something really good and I am stuck in that world, that I don't wanna read anything until I've kind of dealt with all the emotions that it brought up. And, yeah, there are times that I have to wait between books because and I've actually, to tell you the truth, if that happens to me sometimes, I will reread it because I just can't leave that world yet. I will reread the book, because I'm just so stuck in that world and I just wanna stay there with those characters. I reread, certain books of the Crucial series every year. Every year, I'll read Crucial's Mercy, Crucial's Justice, especially Crucial's Justice. Um, that one's my favorite. That's the second of the 3. And, oh, yeah, yeah, every year. Um, yeah, I have gotten reader's block. I don't get writer's block, though. I do not get writer's block. So, what kind of research do you do and how long do you spend researching before beginning a book? I like to, I like the nano, um, model. It works for me. I take a month to plan, and then I write the second month. So usually I take the first month to do research. So I'll watch some stuff, especially with my urban fantasy stuff. I'm watching things on history and cryptology, cryptozoology and things like that. So I'll watch a lot of videos. I'll read some things. I'll read some articles. I'll make a list of things that inspire that book or where I was mentally. So I take a month to pre-research and to plot and outline. And so that's just me playing with cards on the wall. My board is back there on the wall over there, my 3-act board. So yeah, I'll take a month to do that. But while I'm drafting, I leave research tags. So if I can't think of something and I'm like, "Oh, I really need to research this," I'll just put a mark. Usually for me, it's a bracket. I'll put a bracket and I'll say research X or put in so and so's hair color or eye color or what does their apartment look like because I didn't think of their apartment. Um, and close that bracket and just keep going. Um, and that's how I can write so fast is I just use research tags. And so on the revision stage, like right now I'm on the revision of book 3 of the Fire series, um, I have to now take the time to research all those things that I didn't research before the book. But I do have a new Navy SEAL book I got the other day. Um, my lovely boyfriend James took me to a thrift store and I found a book on Navy SEALs. So, adding to my knowledge of my favorite guys. What's the most difficult thing about writing characters from the opposite sex? Oh my gosh. So this is going to sound strange to you. I am also a psych major. I took psychology in college. So take me with a grain of salt. Um, I find it easier to write guys. I find it harder to write women because I'll often write myself and I have to remind myself, no, I'm writing a character. This character is this kind of person, not you. So I actually find writing men easier, and I've had men tell me my men in my books are very good. That they resonate with them. I have some male beta readers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you do great with guys." Um, so I actually find it easy. There's certain pointers. Um, I think about their occupation, and that tells me where their knowledge space is. So if a guy is into designing and clothes, then yeah, he's going to understand color better. He's going to understand, you know, cuts of clothing. nothing makes it more interesting than when I'm reading a book and the author describes the collar that this girl's wearing, but she describes it from the guy's point of view and she uses the name of the collar cut of the collar, and I'm like, he's not a fashion designer. He knows that much about collar cuts. I'm a woman. I don't even know it how all the names of different collars. So I don't know about that. Also, limit your colors description when you're doing guys' point of view. Um, Guys don't tend to, unless they work in certain industries and they're like if they're an artist or they're a painter or if they're into design, then yeah, they know more colors. But your average, like say your construction worker or your truck driver, he's going to say it's blue. It may be teal to you, but he's going to say it's blue. A lot of times I talk to my guy friends. I have a lot of guy friends. I did when I was growing up. I was a mediator between my best friend's boyfriends and her. So I spent a lot of time with guys and getting to know how they thought and acted and things like that. And so, yeah, I find writing from guys to be pretty easy. What's your hardest scene to write? Oh, the hardest scenes to write. Oh, opening scenes suck. Um, they really do. Um, Sex scenes, I have to be in a mood. So often if I'm writing a chapter that has a sex scene, my books don't have that many. Um, my third one's going to have more than the first two. But I have to be in a certain mood and set a kind of mood for when I'm writing a sex scene or a steamy scene. So sometimes if too much is going on that day and I just can't get there, I will put it on the back burner and write it and go at it a different day. Um, I'll just make a note of it and say, go back and write that scene. Um, what else is harder for me to write? Um, I like writing action scenes because I'm a role play gamer. I'm a tabletop role play gamer. So I have actual dice on my desk. Hold on a second. Here's one. I have actual dice on my desk. I have more. I think they're in my bag. Um, yeah, I think they're in my bag. Um, but so when I write an action scene, I just go, okay, you have, I do it like I'm doing a role play game, and I decide, okay, here's your your hit number, and here's your hit number, and I roll a die 20. So action scenes are pretty easy. Do you read your book reviews? How do you deal with bad or good ones? Um, I'm not supposed to read my book reviews. I'm supposed to let a friend read them. Um, Luckily, I haven't gotten bad book reviews. Um, I would look for if it's if it's giving me good feedback. If a bad review is giving good feedback, I will listen to the feedback. Um, if they have, which sometimes I've had a beta reader that just I don't know what was going on with them. Their own head canon was weird, and they so didn't get what the book was. So sometimes people have their own problems and issues and they put it off on your books. So I hope that's okay. Please tell me if the noise is too much. um but yeah, I try to realize I like the adage that once you publish the book, it's no longer yours. It now belongs to your audience and their head is going to, you know, they kind of will do their own thing and but yeah, if you have a hard time with criticism, let someone read your reviews and they'll share the good ones with you and they'll tell you, "Hey, this is what somebody noticed. Do you want to work on that?" And you can make that choice. So that's what I would do. That's what. Oh, good. You don't hear any noise. Good. Oh, thank gosh, because they were cutting something. Um, but yeah, that's what writer buddies are for. They can read your reviews. So yeah. Do you think someone could be a writer if they don't feel emotions strongly? Oh yeah, definitely. Um, there's such thing called technical writing. Um, uh, they could write from a perspective of someone who doesn't feel emotions strongly. I would love to see more characters in this world that are more diverse and not your standard average character. Um, and so, yeah, I know a lot of autistic people who've written um, novels and are actors and have to go through strong emotions. Um, so, yeah, I completely believe that is available. Um, yeah, I can't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah. These are amazing questions. Thank you. If you were to write a spinoff about a side character, who would you pick? Oh my gosh, about a side character from this series. From this one? From these series? I would pick. hmm, I think I would pick Mia, and she's in this one. Um, but I think I have plans for that. From the PIR novels, I would actually like to see a book from Cecilia's point of view. She is the medical examiner for the Fort Worth PIR department um, headquarters, and she is absolutely fascinating. She's a banshee, so it just seemed fitting that a banshee would be a medical examiner, the coroner for PIR in Fort Worth. It just seemed right. So I love Cecilia. I think she's fascinating. Um, so yeah, I think Cecilia would be fun. Mm, these are some amazing questions. Oh, Destiny's got to go and investigate. What's your favorite writing snack or drink? I drink British tea at least 2 cups a day. When I'm writing, I want a mug of tea. My favorite snack is actually a protein snack. I like cheese cubes and nuts, and I like fruit. Um, or like little smoked sausage and cheese to snack on. So yeah, I like a little protein for to snack on, and I love my tea. Occasionally an iced coffee, but that is cheating day. So wow, we've already reached the halfway point. So thank you so much. This is awesome. If your book were made into a movie, which actors would play your characters? Ah, you know I use actors. Okay. The first book, Raven and Travis. I patterned Raven after myself. Her coloring is mine. She's very much me. Travis is actually patterned after Christian Kane. If you watch Leverage, The Librarians, Christian Kane. Um, Tony and Anna. Tony is patterned after an Italian model. that I found his picture and I liked his picture. Anna is patterned after the actress who plays Penelope on Criminal Minds. And Criminal Minds actually played a bit of part in this one. My next book, Steve and Mallory. Steve is patterned after Ryan Reynolds, and Mallory is patterned after Sarah. Uh, um, after Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. Destiny, no. Destiny. Actors. The PIR books, I'm not sure yet. Talon, I based him on Sam Elliott. So, have you ever killed off a character for your readers loved? Yes. Yes, I have. I did it in my first PIR novel. I killed off a character that my readers loved. I specifically made you love him and knew he was going to die the whole time. I actually foreshadow his death early on. If you pay attention and you reread it, you'll find the moment that I foreshadow his death. I actually foreshadow his death a few times. But one specific moment, if you're paying attention, you'll catch that I foreshadow his death. But yeah, I have done that. I've killed off a character that people loved. I love keeping track. When I write the PIR novels, I love keeping track of how many characters die. How many characters I kill. What is your kryptonite as a writer? My kryptonite as a writer. Oh. Kryptonite as a writer. Too much chaos around me. Too much chaos. God, I swear she likes that word. Destiny. Too much chaos is definitely kryptonite. Too much pain, and that's a hard day, and I'll have to take it off. Oh. There were some scenes in PIR that were my kryptonite. I had to walk away and think, if I'm having a hard time, I'll actually go for a walk. Well, there was a period of time when I couldn't go for a walk, but there were times I couldn't go for a walk, which was very. But yeah, so there are some scenes that are hard, but yeah, I don't know if I have real kryptonite, but yeah, definitely chaos. If I have too much chaos around, I'll need to go somewhere else and write. So yeah, and I have done that. I now have the ability to go off and write. So yeah. Speaking of, I might get Y Writer for my tablet. So we'll see. So I can go to the bookstore or the coffee shop and write. I'm looking forward to that as COVID gets less and less terrifying. So I'll still wear my mask, but yeah. If you could be mentored by a famous author, who would it be? Oh my gosh. Jacqueline Carey, Karen Cole. Karen Cole actually made me have a visceral reaction to one of her books. A moment in her book, it felt like somebody had stabbed me with a dagger. I actually have some very, very lovely mentors, and Yeah. Um, Dead mentors, Jane Austen and Edgar Allan Poe. Um, Definitely, I would love to be mentored by them. Um, I also think underst- not just looking at other authors, but looking at painters and other artists can be a way to broaden your perspective. Um, uh, and so sometimes I will look at art or read poetry or um, see how other artists see the world, and sometimes that will change how I start to use some of their techniques and methods in writing. What do the words literary success mean to you, and how do you picture it? Yeah, I've had a battle with the word success for a while. Simply because I'm successful in a non-traditional way. Give me just a second. Simply because I have a job. I have a full-time job that's not writing. I actually have two sort of full-time jobs. Um, One job pays me room and board, um, and allows me the time to do my second job, which is writing. The other one that I love. I love both jobs. But normal people wouldn't see that as successful because I don't own a car. I don't have certain bills that I pay. I don't have income in a traditional way. Um, and so I had to see that as success without being a traditional success model. Where am I hoping to go? Um, Literary success to me is building a community around my books. Um, like a little fan club. That to me would be successful. I would like my books to eventually start to pay themselves back. Luckily, actually, this one marketing cost was very, very low. My publishing and marketing cost has been very low. Um, so I love that that's able to happen. I'm able to publish this for very little money. Um, and I I have to let people I feel like people need to understand that yes, I don't have a lot of people buying this yet. I don't have a lot of people buying my first one, but I published with a zero marketing budget, almost a zero publishing budget. I mean, this cost me $9 essentially. This proof copy to get this proof copy into my hands cost me money, but it didn't cost me a ton of money. So yeah, I would like to see my biggest goals is I would like to see my books pay for themselves. How much it costs to put them out. Um, I would like to be able to pay my uh bills that my business owes. I would like to make enough that I actually qualify to, you know, do my taxes and might actually get a little bit back. um, so yeah. Um, I mean, there are goals, there are achievements that I want to see, but I already feel successful. My books have already done what I asked them to do. They exist. Um, I want to get them in people's hands because I want them to love them as much as I love them. I want them to love these characters and get involved in this group of friends with me. Um, so that to me is most important to me. That I already feel successful because I had to measure success in a different way. Has writing and publishing a book changed the way you see yourself? Yes. I now understand the difference between a writer and an author. Um, I could be a writer all day. Um, a writer is somebody who writes. An author is someone who goes through the day to day grind of finishing the book, editing the book, revising the book, talking to people and getting it, making the hard decisions and having to cut lines and um, realizing that you had a cup of tea, just glass of tea, just completely disappear in a scene and fix it. Um, and that you go through the process of becoming a published author. And to me, that's a difference. I was once a writer, I am now an author. So it does change the way I see myself. I can actually say I'm a published author. I'm not just a published poet anymore. Um, and no one can take this away from me. They can tell me my book is crap. They can, trash my book. They can do whatever they want, but you can't take away the fact that I did it. And so yeah, that's definitely changed me. As a writer, what would you choose as your spirit animal? Oh, I already have a spirit animal. I have two actually. One is the raven. I've been the raven for quite some time. Me and ravens. The other one is the orca, the killer whale. So yeah, those are my spirit animals. But AJ, if you've ever read Coco or watched Coco, my AJ is my guide to get me across the bridge of flowers. I'm gonna be stuck on that bridge forever because she'll play in the flowers and I'll never get across. But she's my guide. Whom do you trust for objective, constructive criticism of your work? I trust my writing buddy Dak. She writes under RM Scholl. Oh my gosh, she should be published very soon. Um, I trust her. And I trust my developmental editor Karina. We've worked together on 2 books now. Um, and she's very good. She's very good at going, "Hey, here's what you said. I'm just putting it in a better way." Um, um, some of my favorite writing buddies love what I do and they're not mean to me. So I do kind of need somebody to go, "No." So yeah, I trust them pretty much. They'll tell me what's what. Um, okay. Last question. Where can people find you on social media? Ah, of course. Thank you, love. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Crow at SA Crow or Crow Shirley. Sorry, at Crow Shirley. You can find me on here on YouTube. You can find me. I am on TikTok, which I will be doing a live questions on TikTok or something. Um, let's see. You can find me on Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. Um, you can find me specifically everything that I do at my website, authoressaycrow.com. It has all the links, all the things. If you want to find some awesome writing buddies, or you're wanting to do productivity sprints, come find us on the Wings for Writers Discord channel. You can find that at my website. Yep. Do you Yes, I am gonna read portions of my book on my Facebook tour, my Instagram tour, my TikTok, I think I'm gonna try to, and I'm doing a live signing where I'll be reading portions of my book. Thank you, Carla. It's so good to see you. Here it is. But yes, I will be reading. Yeah. Um, so just keep an eye out. I plan to be on Facebook, Amazon, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. So thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to leave us with the trailer again. Thank you all so much for being here with us. I absolutely love this, and I'm so amazed. Thank you so much, and enjoy the trailer. Okay, I heard there's some comments that I need to worry about. Okay. Aw. You said there was a bonus question. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, everybody. And I can't wait to see you at some of the other things. So